And hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Ask Us Anything, coming to you live tonight from beautiful Naples, Florida. We could have done it outside, but there's a little dirty secret about Naples, Florida, and the edge of the Everglades, right?
Yes.
They're called no-see-ums.
And they bite.
They do.
I am a mess.
No-see-ums, but do feel them.
Yeah.
They're little buggers. But,
because otherwise we would be outside.
yeah, I
I've got
can't
enough
quite
bites.
show you the view out our window, but there's palm trees and blue sky, and welcome to daylight savings time. I kind of like it being light at 7 o'clock. It's been dark all winter, and this is nice. Well, we are in Naples, Florida, and we're Mike and Jennifer Wendland, and Beau is on the front seat of the RV waiting for a dog to walk past so he can bark his hello to him.
Or if he sees a bird.
Or C-A-T. We have to spell it because he knows the word. Hey, we want to welcome you to the program tonight. We're here for about an hour, depending on how well the internet connects. We are in a campground, and that means that if everybody starts streaming a movie on using the internet, using the cell phone service, then the signals degrade and we drop out, and that's what happens if that should happen. We're hoping it doesn't tonight. It's 75 degrees out there, and it's nice. Breezy?
It's breezy, but I like it.
Oh, it's perfect weather. Absolutely perfect. Hey, we want to first give a shout out to a whole bunch of people that we spent the afternoon with. We had a meetup today, thanks to Greg and Leslie, who organized it. Here's a picture that we had taken. Well, that's not it. Let me pull that picture up. We had a picture taken. We got the wait person to take it, and there we all are. We had a couple more show up. We ended up, I think, with 15 of us in total. And on the right, that's Leslie and Greg. On the far right, they're the ones who set this all up.
Picked the restaurant out.
And we had people from, South Dakota, Michigan, North Carolina, Indiana, everywhere. So I can't remember everybody's hometown. You have it all written down in our meet and greet book, but we had a great time. And thank you all. It was a great afternoon. We felt as we were talking there with everybody that this really is a big family that we have here in the RV lifestyle. And tonight is Family Hour. This is really, we know, we have almost 102,000 followers now, and about Beau said hi to a dog. And he just, can you see him? See if I can serve him. He's perched up there, right there. See him up there? He'd be here saying hello, but he's got to run security. And he just was worried. We had some gate crashers there. So every dog that walks past. He says hello to. Anyway, we feel this truly is family, especially this hour-long Ask Us Anything that we do now pretty much every Sunday night from wherever we happen to be in the country as we travel. These are, you guys are truly, we feel like this is our time to connect, answer your questions, and it's just great. We love doing meetups. We had one last week up in Ocala, Florida, and we had one tonight in Naples. And we'll probably have one in the Emerald Coast, Destin Panhandle area, up towards Pensacola, Navarre Beach. I
like Dewey Destin.
Yeah, we have a great little restaurant. If it's a nice Sunday afternoon, we'll do it outside. Dewey Destin's in Navarre. We'll try and do that in a couple of weeks. It might be 2 or 3 weeks yet, but we'll figure it out. We have been on a really busy travel schedule. We just arrived here in Naples last night, and had a chance to visit with Jen's brother and
his wife and his son, and
our niece, nephew, and their two
daughter-in-law.
Two sons. What would the two sons be? Dylan and Jacob would be grandnephews or nephew-in-laws. I don't know, but they're cool kids. They're not kids; they're older, but we really just enjoyed that. So we had some family time. We spent some time in the Everglades. Loved it. Can't wait to show you the video.
I want to go back and spend more. We always say we want to go back and spend more time.
That's a sign that we're having fun, don't you think?
Yeah. I hate to call this a wrap here.
Yeah, we were deep in the Everglades, 40 miles down a road off the main road at the Flamingo Campground, which is right at the far southeast end of the Everglades, right on Florida Bay. And we had a wonderful time there. We did a boat ride, we did a hike, we saw a lot of alligators, a lot of beautiful birds. We were earlier in the week from Monday through Thursday through Friday, Monday through Thursday or Friday. We were in through Friday, I think it was. We were in Key West. I can't keep track. Key West, Florida. Had a great time there. We'll have a video about that. So we've been just really enjoying it. We're here doing finishing up the photos, many of the photos for our series. There'll be a 3-part series on our 7-day adventure guides to Florida. The first one is already out. That's our guide to the Gulf Coast of Florida. The second one will be on the East Coast of Florida, and that within a week will be out. So stay tuned. If you're a regular follower on our Facebook group, or if you subscribe to our newsletter, we'll send you a note that we think will be out within a week. And shortly thereafter, we'll have our book on the Keys as well. And so that'll be 3 books for probably the top snowbird state in the country, which is here in Florida. We had fun.
We have been having a wonderful time.
So what was the highlight of the last week for you? If you had to boil it all down, what was the best part of the week?
Well, I was very curious about the Keys. So I was happy that we finally were able to drive 7 Mile Bridge
across
and
the
see
Keys.
the beauty of the Keys.
Yeah, it's 150 miles from Miami to Key West, and much of it is, I think there are 40 different bridges, the longest being
The
7
7
Mile
Mile.
Bridge. We did. We stayed at a very crowded campground. They all are. And Key West is not a very RV friendly city.
Not at all.
It's hard enough to park a car, let alone an RV, even a smaller RV. But we still had a great time, and it was awesome. Hey, there's a bunch of you on, and we always like to go to the first one. Davis, Tandy, and Buster, they're regulars, and they were here well before, and he wanted to know if that was Beau's bark in the introduction. Yes, it was.
Was that Beau's?
That was Beau's bark, yep. Yeah, that was Beau's bark. And the little intro we just ran before we came on. Yep, that was. And Road Trip Buddy, who I know is out in California, is usually first or second, and he's second, and he says that's a great picture of the 3 of us. I think I had a placeholder of us down in Key West when we rented a golf cart, and the 3 of us were on a golf cart. We'll tell you about that in the video that we'll do on Key West.
I wish I had a good picture of the 3 of us with Beau sitting in between us with his ears up, loving every minute of the ride.
As he squeezed in on a golf cart that we're driving down U.S. Highway 1. You know, golf carts are allowed on Highway 1 for parts of Key West, and that's a lot of traffic to be in a little golf cart.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, but Beau loved it. He had a great time. All right, let's say hi to a bunch of you. Linda Ward from Mercer County, New Jersey. The first motorhome. Hopes you're doing well. We are.
Thank you. Hope you're doing well.
Shirley is on a regular. Hi, Shirley, saying hello. Fly Shacker. Fly Shacker is usually one of our first ones as well. Greetings from him. KK Kayak is in Monticello, Wisconsin, where it's sunny and 61 degrees.
Sounds perfect.
That is awesome. Shirley's in Indian Rocks Beach, Florida, not too far from us. Now, Corrine makes a comment. See that comment all in caps? When you make a comment, put comment like that. We'll know when we're scrolling through because there's a lot of questions and comments. And also when you ask a question, if you'd put that in all caps as well. So we know, because we're going to take questions from now on in this show. Thanks for the app suggestions. Planning a trip to California in April to see the first grandson. The apps will come in handy. Thank you. All Stays is only on iPhone. Yep. Android has apparently too many hoops for the developers to go, so you don't have All Stays. One you might want to do that is available on all of them is Campendium. You can try that app. That's a really good app.
First grandson. That's pretty exciting.
Yes. Yeah.
Congratulations.
First question of the night. Have you purchased any extra food or supplies because of the coronavirus problems?
No, because we're in an RV.
Yeah. We purchased a lot of food and supplies, but, you know, I'm going to tell you this. I don't ever get political, but don't worry. You know, we've gotten through all these other false scares, and I'm telling you this as a 40-year member of the media. Don't believe the hype. They are hyping this so much. About 10 years ago, the media decided that they were going to cover news like they cover sports. Well, how do you cover what is sports? Well, sports is essentially a story of conflict, right? There is a winner and there's a loser and there's a battle between the two, and you heighten that intensity, and you hype the battle. Well, that's the way they cover every news story, like a ball game, like a football game, and they're covering this. Yes, there are concerns, but no, we're not going to buy any food. I will tell you, we just did this meet and greet with all of our friends tonight, and we asked all around, and not one single person at our table, and we ended up 15, were concerned about the coronavirus in any degree at all. I was taking a photo yesterday deep in the Everglades around a little pond. There were some cool birds, and there were about 8 or 10 people taking pictures, and this guy started to cough, and all these people, we all started looking at each other. Oh no! And I just laughed, and that's the first thing everybody thought. But
Oh, no. The first time I thought about it was when we were in Key West, and there were 3 cruise ships in, and
oh
one was
yeah,
from Italy. And I'm going, oh man, we're all jammed together on the sidewalk.
yeah,
Oh
but
well.
yeah, uh, you know, uh, we are not even a little bit concerned, and there's really been very little change. Are you a little concerned?
A little.
She's a little. I'm
Yeah.
not. Are we going to buy any extra food?
No.
I'm all for extra food. I think that's a great idea. All right, enough of that. But I am not concerned, and who knows? But I don't think this is it. Comment. Saw you guys checking in at the Flamingo Friday night, the Flamingo Campground in the Everglades. Walked by your campsite a few times. It never could catch you outside. Hope to meet up someday. Appreciate all the info you give us. Thank you.
Wish we'd knocked on the door.
You should have knocked on the door, Ricardo. I went out and had some fun taking night photos. The Flamingo was, it's a really great dark sky. We had a full moon, but I had a couple of those.
To tell you the truth, camping in the Everglades, I was expecting snakes to be slithering through our
No.
campground, but it was
No.
just this great big open field.
There were people wandering around when I was out taking those pictures. A dad had taken his kids out with flashlights, and they were walking around the edge where the swamp is, looking
Just think,
for alligators.
if you had taken our kids on that, you could have told them stories
I
and
could
had
have
them
scared
scared
them.
half to death.
I would have had fun with that. That would
Yeah.
have been a lot of fun. Eric has a question. Sleeping at night. Ventilation, AC, windows open, value of cross ventilation.
Yeah, I love the windows open. Windows up high,
Okay, let me
and
show
then
you that.
windows down there.
That's open. The screen we put across.
We've got our skylight.
got-
Sky, we can open that up. We've got our fan.
We got this
We got-
window there and that window over there. They're open.
I prefer fresh air to AC.
Now we did have to run the AC somewhere. It was really hot at night.
Mhm.
Do you remember where that was?
I have to get out my.
It was somewhere the other night. But most of the time, temperatures have been up to 87.
It's been cool in the evenings. Probably the Floridians don't like it.
Yeah, it's good. Jan Anderson, our friend from Destin, Florida, checks in. Hey, Jan. Jan and her husband Dan have a brand new Unity, I think. And in fact, we're heading to Destin tomorrow, first thing in the morning. We'll be on our way up there. So, hi from sunny Clarkston, Michigan, says our friend Renee. Hi, Renee. Let's go down and take some of your questions. Hi to many of you checking in, and we love seeing it. Have any of your travels been affected by the coronavirus? No, not a single one.
Probably the only thing I could say was my kind of going, ugh, walking the crowded streets of Key West with a boat with
a bunch of
couple
Italians
thousand people
on a cruise ship.
On an Italian cruise ship. I kind of,
I did, yeah, and we went up the lighthouse. It's just 84 steps up, and it's got a little handrail. You got to pull it, And I kept every step of, oh no, all these Italians off the cruise ship.
So we got done, and we went and washed our hands.
Yeah,
that's the best we can do.
And we're doing a big conference up in Alabama in 2 weeks. There are about 350 RV entrepreneurs. It's all about people who make a living in their RVs as they travel around the country, doing all sorts of things. We're a part of some of the main stage speakers that will be talking at that event. And I've been watching that. Nobody seems very concerned about it.
Well, they're all young.
They're all young. Well, no, not all young. We're old and we're not too concerned about it. But
Well, you're never concerned about anything.
well, does it do you any good?
None
Yeah,
whatsoever.
it doesn't do any good at all. So we're going to that. As far as I know, that event is still on. I know a lot of businesses are shutting down stuff. Congress, of course, looking to take advantage of anything they can not to work, or talking about suspending meeting at the House of Representatives and Congress, and doing it remotely. That's a good deal for them, right? But nothing that I can think of. We did meet somebody at our group tonight
Beau?
who had a trip they were going to do to. I think she was going. She's an environmentalist, Patricia, and I think she was going to the Middle East, wasn't she? No, she was going
Asia.
to Asia, Southeast Asia, on a trip, and that was canceled. And I met a guy at Boyd's who is emergency planning for a big university in Florida, and he shared that he'd been on the phone every day with task force planning what to do, how do you manage a college, if everybody gets sick, quarantine kids, remote learning, all that stuff. So people are talking about
quiet.
it, but
you have to plan.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I would you'd be crazy not to say it.
Beau?
But in terms of Gareth's question, none of our travels have been affected at all, and we don't anticipate them to be. We'll let you know. Follow us on social media. I share everything on Instagram, and if you haven't followed us on Instagram, go for it. It's RV Lifestyle Mike, and that's both of us. We're always posting. And speaking of which, we're buying Jennifer a new iPhone. She's got the 9 or 8 or 9, and I am using this iPhone for almost all my videos now. This camera takes fantastic um, just 4K video. So we're getting her. We're going to have 2 of those.
Trying to see if I want larger.
You want the Max? Come on, it's easier to read. So then we'll have 2 of those. But we both use Instagram, and that's where you'll find all of our pictures. We've been posting a lot on this trip, so go follow us on Instagram. We love interacting, and of course, on Facebook, just go there and you can follow us on Facebook. We've been on that for years, and we do a lot. Beau is saying, "Move out of the way. It's my turn to drive." Somebody told us we had him in the golf cart. That somebody wrote a message somewhere, and they said that they saw Beau and us in the golf cart driving Highway 1 in Key West.
I mean, you would look at anybody crazy enough to drive a golf cart
with a 65-pound Norwegian elk hound between the 2 of you. But we had fun.
But they recognized Beau.
Let's see. Were you in Town Lake, Woodstock, Georgia, when you were eating at the Mexican restaurant with your kids? Yes, we were. We had a great Mexican restaurant. That was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't remember now. I think it was 2 weeks ago. We were in Town Lake, and our grandson Nick and his girlfriend Liz was there, and Beau was out in the RV, and we ate at that Mexican restaurant.
I wish you would have said hi.
Say hi, yeah. We love seeing it. How does the B Plus drive in the wind? Great. It was very windy yesterday, coming across out of the Keys on the bridge. But, I had no problem. It did not. It just is very stable. I think there's so much weight to it that it works out really good. Have you ever tried the Free Roam app? No, I haven't. There are so many apps. You can't try them all, but I have not tried that. All right, looking for more. A lot of you saying hi, and we do really appreciate it. Question, what did you do with Beau with the alligators? Kept him in the RV. We talk about this every week, that dogs, for people who are very active in their RV lifestyle, are a real challenge. They are just a real challenge. And I don't know how else to say that, but on this trip, Beau has been, we've had to put him in the Space Center. At the Space Center,
they had board dogs, and you're lucky to have it. It's a little cement cage with bars on the front. He got put in jail.
He did.
Solitary confinement for a couple hours.
And that was not fun.
And then he had doggy daycare a couple times.
And then
some poor lady we
Oh, yesterday we went
I
on
don't
a
know if you
boat
should
ride.
say.
You can say what you
Oh,
did. We were at the Flamingo campground and we went on the boat ride, in the backcountry boat ride through the glades. Well, they aren't going to let a dog on it. So, and it was hot. We didn't want to leave him in the RV. So we found somebody at the ticket counter who agreed to watch him for a few bucks. And that was
Well,
good.
they didn't ask for any money.
They didn't ask for any money.
They didn't ask for any
We
money.
just gave him some.
But
But you can't walk a dog in the national park other than in the campground or where cars are allowed. And in Key West, we're trying to work. There's no place for Beau.
I mean, we only saw like maybe 3 dogs. We saw a German Shepherd pup that was 8 months several times, and then you didn't see the other dogs, but I saw just glimpses quickly of 2 other little dogs.
Yeah,
But it was too hot for Beau. He's a cold weather dog. He
yeah,
really couldn't go with us, and so we were lucky we found a doggy daycare.
yeah. Um, I'm currently visiting Florida. Next week, I'm supposed to be in the Fort Myers area. I'm a little nervous. They just found a case of coronavirus there. Now I may not go. Thoughts?
If you don't want
If
to
you don't
go,
want to
don't
go,
go.
don't go. But uh, how many cases of the flu have they had? The flu kills more than the coronavirus. But
I mean,
we just were at her brother's house, who's got a cold. He was sneezing last night.
yeah, we went to my brother's and he was
We might
sneezing
catch a
all over the
cold.
place.
We'll
So
probably catch a cold. Uh, yeah, I mean, if you're a nervous type,
people are the most
don't do it.
contagious. This is what my daughter-in-law told
We're
me.
talking about the cold, not the
A
coronavirus.
cold. I don't know how the coronavirus works, but just viruses. Usually 3 days before you show any symptoms, so you don't know. You're out hanging around with somebody. They could, 3 days before they show symptoms, and then the first 3 days. This is what I was told.
Yeah, but
But
the
I don't know.
coronavirus, again, what happened to all of those other virus scares that we have seen over the years? I just am not worried about it. I don't want to, I don't want to tell you don't go. If you have concerns, don't go. That's
Don't
the beauty
go.
of it.
You don't have to go.
You are your
Put it
own
off.
boss.
Put it off or give it a couple months.
Yeah.
Put it off till next year. Do something else when
Yeah.
things settle down.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be far from home.
Yeah.
If something happens. I don't know if you're by yourself or you got your family with you that you feel responsible to take care of.
Yep.
You have to use your judgment.
Question: Did you like Boyd's? We stayed there last year. We were 6 feet from the water. Yeah, we were too. Also 6 feet. At first, we did not like Boyd's
Because they gave us a campsite right on top of the bathroom.
and I couldn't open my awning without hitting the roof of the RV next to us. But they moved us to a little better site. We're not campground people. We're in one now, and actually, it's not a bad. It's a KOA, but campgrounds are not our favorite place to camp.
I ended up liking it because they a little thing that I liked. They had a boom box and a tape, and there was aqua aerobics.
Yep. Yep.
5 days a week, so I could work out in the water. So that to me was really fun.
Lots of you talking about the virus, and I'll just let you all vent. Helen, we're heading west. April, the virus is a bit concerning. In 2 months, you'll know a lot more.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want you to think I'm not following all the stories. I'm reading every story obsessively.
Because our granddaughter's going to New York to sing.
Yeah, yep, at Carnegie Hall, yeah, no less. So just keep watching and make your decision based on that. I think.
I mean, like, I would not want to fly in an airplane right now, and I wouldn't want to go on a cruise ship.
I would not do either of those things. Right now.
Cruise ships, I'm kind of iffy about anyway. But you see, I'm being too paranoid. I'm always a little worried. Like every now and then somebody picks up a virus, just flu or something. I mean, like stomach flu.
Tracy asked you, you're going to attend the Super B in Glendale, Arizona this year. I don't think so.
We're not sure.
Yeah, right now
we have a big incentive to go to Phoenix because our oldest grandson just moved there.
Yeah,
and we would like to see Zach.
But
that's our incentive.
But our plans now are not to attend. So, but that may change. We'll let you know. And
I don't
think you think the event will be canceled?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
I mean,
I doubt it.
I don't know.
You'll
have a really good idea in April about this virus.
Yeah, yeah. Every week, I've been saying. We're wondering about the event we're going to speak at coming up in Alabama. Well, when is they going to have it? And
they are going to have it because they're all young people.
Well, they're watching it too, and if they do have to cancel, they'll reschedule it. And right now, it's all talk. but you know, obviously be careful. Wash your hands. You know, if you're not feeling well, don't go around. You know all that stuff. I'm not going to echo all that. Leonard, do you have any advice on booking Florida state parks? We're trying to book the Keys Bahia State Park for next winter. No luck. Yeah, uh, I do, but you won't like it. You know, if you can't book a year in advance, even then it's hard. Your next best shot is to do walk-ins. Most of the parks have cancellations, and we have found in every park that we've been in on this trip, even though they were all technically full, we were able to find a spot from a cancellation. Now, I don't want to have somebody go and, oh, we never could get in, it's all your fault. I don't want any of that
I mean, you
stuff.
take your chances.
But that's the
Are you a
trouble.
positive person? Do you think positive?
That'll help. But yes, but here, Honda State Park, we would love to have stayed there. They have two loops. One of them is still closed from the hurricane. The other's open. It's right on the water. It's gorgeous in the Keys.
I'd like to come back next year and
We
hit
will.
the islands
We
in the
will.
Keys because it was quite pretty.
They're very expensive. And we'll
Yes.
have a whole video
Oh,
on the Keys.
yeah.
But you know, the best thing to do is to keep calling. And one other piece of advice, many of the state parks now go through Reserve America. So you can call them every day and just look for cancellations.
And then you're paying more money for their service fee.
Other
But what are you
sites,
going to do?
other bigger private sites, I have found in general that instead of trying to book online, which will often say full, that if I call and speak to somebody, there's often an opening for one night, and then usually they can find you another opening for the next night. You might move sites. We noticed this. We're at a KOA here in Naples, Florida, and the people who were next to us were here last night, and today they moved to another site
That's less
further down.
expensive.
But they, you know, they just are going from site to site as openings develop.
Hmm.
But you do have to call way in advance.
And it's expensive at this KOA in Naples. This is, I think, very expensive.
Jake says, "What's your when you say very expensive? How much is it?"
It was over 100.
Yeah, do you remember what it was?
Well, I think it was 140, but we had our KOA discount.
Yeah, that's only 5%. So yeah, so it's expensive. That's
Yeah.
what I mean. Believe me, they will take every advantage they can out of demand.
Well, they got to replace the bathroom.
Yeah,
I mean, there are maintenance costs, you know.
Oh, tremendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
And we're
faulting
in a
them.
deluxe site, you know, with the pavers and the little table and nice chairs.
But wasn't
and
it
a fire
nice?
pit.
I actually went out and did video editing out there this afternoon.
Yeah, you
in
enjoyed
the
it.
sun with they have a little awning.
Because
it was
the
great.
first site that we had that we again wouldn't stay in because it was so small.
Yeah.
There was no elbow room.
But to Leonard's question about booking in Florida, it's a challenge. Now, we just did a video on a site called, and that'll be coming out, it'll be featured in a video we're doing on Central Florida, called Sunkissed RV Resort. Sunkissed, all one word. They're in Summerfield, Florida, right near Ocala. Very nice, brand new site. Hasn't been on the radar, so it's not sold
Just
out.
opened in December.
It will be next year.
It will be.
Rates are quite reasonable. I think
It
50
was
to 70
$55
bucks, whatever.
a day, I think it was.
Yeah, and then they have more expensive ones as well. But try that. That's a great site.
It had a little workout area,
And you could probably book it next week.
a little fenced-in area for dogs,
But we had
a nice pool.
I'll tell you, we did find one state park that we never had really been on our radar before. The Jonathan Dickinson State Park. It's just north of Fort Lauderdale, and then it's near Jupiter, Florida, north of Fort Lauderdale, and a little bit west. In a big stretch of land, gorgeous state park, wasn't it?
Yes.
And nice hiking, and really, really enjoyed this state park. It's on a river, and a wild river.
I can't tell you how much I have enjoyed our past couple of weeks, just looking around. In every place, I've wanted to stay longer.
Yeah, me too. It's been a really great trip. And
Mm-hmm.
I think part of it's been great because we've just been here essentially to gather photographs for the books, but we've also found all these great little stories that we've done. And I can't wait to put those videos out over the next few weeks for you. Jake Anderson says, what's your favorite state to camp in?
I haven't been to every state, so I can't say.
Well, so far. My wife should be a diplomat, don't you think? favorite one so far? I don't know if I have one. This
uh,
week, right now, I'd say Florida because it's been such a great. Every place we've stayed, pretty much, has been awesome, hasn't it?
it has been.
Um, but come later this summer, I'll tell you it's Montana or Utah. I love those states. In the fall. I know I'm going to tell you it's Northern California because that's where we'll be.
I miss going through Wyoming because I love the wild horses.
Yeah,
Oh, there's so many places I want to go.
yeah. So Jake, that's just an impossible question for us to answer because there is no one favorite. They're all really neat, and it's easier to say which is the worst campground. I can't even think of that. Well, yeah, I can think of a worse campground. How about one where the black tank dump overfilled, like, and it hadn't been. It not only it overfilled, it flooded. It was just a mess.
But that wasn't their
That
fault.
was in Nebraska.
There was flooding.
Yeah, it was flooding,
It
but
wasn't their fault.
that was
It wasn't
pretty
the
bad.
campground's fault.
That was pretty bad.
Things happen.
Do you have a preference as to your B or B plus? They're all. It's like campgrounds. Every RV is a little different. Obviously, we love our B plus right now.
Because it has so much room in
It
it.
has room, and it's been just really a delight to be in. And
There is much to be said for a B plus, and there is much to be said for a B that's littler. It's up to you what
Yeah.
you want, what you need, whether you're one person, two, three. How
Gregory,
many pets?
my partner wants to wait until retirement to buy an RV and start traveling. I'd like to start sooner. Any thoughts, advice?
Do it now.
Get together and decide.
Go now.
Yeah.
You're not guaranteed you have tomorrow.
You are not. Yeah.
Coronavirus might get it.
Yeah. Can't say that. Somebody's going to take you
Sorry.
seriously.
Just joking.
We met. I tell you, we met a guy at the Ocala RV show last week, and he was in our interview of the week on the podcast. And they had the same plans. Let's retire. He and his wife were going to retire when they could, and off they would go, and it would be great. And then his wife got a diagnosis of fatal disease. It'll take a while, but it's incurable. And so he took an early retirement, and he bit the bullet, and they are traveling, and they're making up for whatever time they're not going to have in the future. They're having a wonderful time. You aren't guaranteed tomorrow. And if you can do it, get the RV. You still got to work, then take weekend trips. Bundle up your vacation, take 3-day long weekend trips. But get out there now and enjoy it. If you can. If you can't afford it, that's a whole different thing. If you can't afford it, you shouldn't do it anyway. But we talked to another guy, speaking of affording it, who worked 2 jobs for the last 20 years of his career so he could retire at 55. And because he knew what he wanted, it was going to cost money, he had to work hard at it. And so set a goal, but do it as soon as you can. And I think that's awesome. We're behind the Key West, and how friendly will the Keys be with rad power bikes? Very friendly. We didn't bring ours on this trip, and I so wish we had. They would have been perfect in Key West. Very bike friendly town, big bike lanes, lots of ways to go. Don't you wish?
Yeah, because when poor Beau was at doggy daycare.
Beau is giving up doing security at the front.
What he's all done since he's not appreciated.
Since he's not appreciated, he's right here taking a nap. Beau, you want to say hi to anybody?
He's depressed.
I'm depressed.
And that's because I put the bark collar on him.
Oh, well.
So I crushed his spirit.
Yeah, we'll take him for a walk in a couple of minutes. What is the least expensive way to rent an RV B-class for a month or two? A month or two.
He's got to call up.
They are so in demand, almost all RVs, that they cost as much or more, oftentimes more than a hotel room. So, I would look through all of the different RV rental places, and, there's 3 or 4 of them out there. And then I'd ask to get a discounted rate. Somebody might have one that they want to release for 2 months. That's a long time. Most RVers use them themselves and rent them out just on the weekends they're not. It might be hard to find somebody who has a 2-month block of time they don't plan on using it. But call the individual owners and see what you can find, and don't hesitate to offer them, a discounted price. See what you can find. Uh, okay, I can answer it. Do you think it'll be canceled? I don't think it'll be canceled, the Super B show. But who knows?
Yeah, I suppose it is a concern if you were going to buy an airline ticket to go to it, which a lot of people do, because
Beau
you can't buy
says,
a ticket at the last minute.
Mike Smith says, coronavirus or not, Beau would like it if he bought more food. Yeah, we're trying not to give. But Beau's now eating
Green
What'd you
beans,
give him today or yesterday? You gave him.
broccoli.
Yeah,
He'll eat
yeah,
just about anything.
yeah,
The vet said to give him some green vegetables to try to fill him up.
yeah. Uh, we're heading for Florida soon for a 5-week trial run in an RV, and we'll look for a newer, bigger RV. Any RV dealership recommendations in Florida? Yeah, the dealer that I recommend is Sunshine State RVs. In all the fairness and full disclosure, they're a sponsor of our podcast. But I happen to know Nick and Craig, the owners of Sunshine State RVs. We think the world of them. They have great integrity. They are honest, and you can just go to sunshinestatervs.com. They're in Gainesville, Florida. They'll deliver anywhere in the country if you need to have the RV delivered. Their service is great. They'll tell it as it is, and you'll get the best price from them. So I can recommend them because I know them, and they're good people, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Going down through questions. Lots of you asking great questions, and lots of you still commenting on the coronavirus, which I can't offer any more on that. I have a new motto: if I can't get there in my RV, I'm not going, says Sharon.
Oh, isn't that the truth if you can't get there? Because flying on planes is so awful to begin with, and then with the threat of what you're going to pick up.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
even before this virus.
yeah. A lot of you asking questions. I'm just going to go over what's the best RV, which RV has the best insulation, and all that stuff. You know, there is what is best for you may not be for me, and so the best RV is the one that you like the most and that you get and that meets your needs and doesn't fall apart. So I don't know. Hey, super chat from Michael Thompson, $4.99. Thank you, Mike. Jennifer, you have $1,000,000 smile.
Thank you.
Well, smile. Yeah. That guy paid $5 just for you to smile.
Oh, that's sweet of him.
That is really nice. Thank you, Michael,
I
for the
have
super
to say,
chat.
our daughter was voted the prettiest smile in her senior class. She hates it when I say that.
Yeah, yeah,
She came in second for being the nicest person.
yeah. How does Beau's dog collar work?
All right. It's he went to college when he
I,
was a pup.
yeah, he did.
Mike calls it college. I called it reform school. We heard about it.
It was training. Yeah.
Dog training. And he went to boarding school for a little over 6 weeks because you had back surgery. And he was ripping my arm off. The vet just said that if Beau played football, he'd be a linesman. Beau is a strong dog. So anyway, to control him, I don't like these things, but it's what we have. We don't shock him. It's a vibrate thing.
Yeah, I gotta show
It's
him.
a little remote.
This is vibration. I don't remember
We
what
don't.
that is.
We don't.
That's
we don't
kind
do
of like a
those.
shock. We only
We don't
use
do
that
those.
one.
We only.
It's a
He doesn't
vibration.
like the vibration, and the thought, the intent is that it breaks their focus. And you and our grandsons and our sons all had to hold the little collar and feel it
Yeah,
vibrate and stuff. Make sure it was safe for Beau.
yeah. Somebody is burning plastic.
Don't you hate it when they do that?
That's why we don't camp in campgrounds. The windows are open, and all I smell is burning plastic or garbage. Why do people do that?
Because they only pick up the garbage in the morning, I guess, and they want to get rid of their garbage.
No, because they're
If
stupid.
you really want to get rid of it, just go to the trash
They're
cans in the
just
bathroom.
stupid
But don't say
people.
I said that.
Yeah, that's stupid people that burn garbage. The whole place stinks. Worse than a
It really
cigar.
does stink.
Geek Me Scott. I like that. Do you all use Thousand Trails? What are your thoughts on it? Is it worth it? Not for us, it isn't. I don't use it. I don't like big campgrounds. Case in point, because people burn garbage I can't stand it. But Thousand Trails, there are so many of them around the country. You pay a pretty stiff membership fee, and you got to pick a region of the country to work from. Otherwise, if you go to another region, it doesn't count. You don't get it. And we travel everywhere across the country, so it would not be smart for us. And their campgrounds are too big. just way too
But
big.
maybe you want big. Maybe
Yeah.
you got kids and you want all that activity and excitement. A tiki bar by the gym set.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you want.
What type of dog monitor do you use? Well, it's plugged in right now. It's called the Nimble Pet Safety app. And I don't know, let me see if I can bring it up here. Nimble Pet Safety. And here it is. This is an app that I can call up on demand, and it will show me what the temperature is in the RV, and it will send me an alert. I
What's
don't
the
know if I
temperature
can
in there?
pull that all up. Right now, it is 76.89 degrees.
That's warm.
Yeah, well, it's actually quite comfortable. And you can see the red. I've got it set. I've got it programmed. If it gets over 95 to send me a text. And if it gets down below, I don't remember what I set it at, too cold. That's not a problem in Florida. But that works with the cellular network. So it's expensive. You got to buy a cell phone signal. So don't yell at me because it costs money. I mean, that's a decision you make. You know, do you want to have constant security of how warm it is or cold it is in your RV? Then you do it that way. I think that we have a special offer because they are a sponsor on the podcast. I think you can get 70% off.
That's a lot off.
It is. It's rvlifestyle.com/nimble, NIMBLE. Maybe Phyllis or Chris will put that URL up in the comments, but rvlifestyle.com/nimble, NIMBLE, and you can learn more about it. We've had it for a year, and down here in Florida, I have relied on it all the time. When we're out in the boat ride, or when we were out hiking in the Everglades, rather, yesterday, I had that Nimble app. I could tell how warm it was in the RV. We had the AC running with the generator on. We had parked over in the RV section of a parking lot. We didn't have to worry. I knew what the temperature was.
Yeah, I'm still a little irritated about that. You left me and said you're going to be back in a couple minutes. Like, what, half an hour later you came back?
I got so many great pictures of alligators.
Totally forgot about.
I did forget about it, but I came back eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, looking for more questions. Here's one from Neil. Have you ever been to the Guntersville Lodge before? In my humble opinion, it's the prettiest place in Alabama. That's where we're doing this talk in a couple of weeks at the RV Entrepreneur Summit. It's at Lake Guntersville, and it's in Alabama. And we've never been there before, but we're looking
forward to going there.
Yeah. So that's good. Let's see. I'm looking for questions. Lots of comments. I love to see you guys talking among yourself. Are you thinking about a boat to boondock? I saw your Instagram picture. No, not really. I put up a picture on Instagram the other day of just this gorgeous spot where a couple of boats were parked near Key Largo. And I said, gee, is that the equivalent of boondocking for our boaters? If it is, I want in. And that would be really fun. But I don't know if I can handle a boat as well as an RV. It gets pretty crazy.
Yeah, you wouldn't want it to sink.
Yeah. Thank you, Phyllis. Yeah. Thank you, Phyllis, for putting that up. That's the link to the Nimble pet safety monitor that we use, and that's good. All right. So I have gone all the way through the questions pretty much, and we thank you guys so much for jumping in. Lots of people checking in, and we used to be able to, when we only had a few people watching, we could go down and say, oh, so-and-so says hi and stuff, but we try and just go to the questions and the comments and go from there. And it's been fun to listen to all of you. And let me go back and see if I missed any. I went through really quick. Let's see, something that we can answer. And I think we got them all. I can't believe I cleaned up all the questions. That's great. Except this one. What's your favorite animated movie? I don't even know.
We don't get to animated movies that often now that the grandkids are older.
I think that's
just two little.
I think somebody's just being
other
silly.
Side of the state.
I think they're being silly because I don't know. That's great. Leslie says, I enjoyed your interview with the CEO of the new Rapido Roadtrek. I bought a 2020 Zion in January at the Toronto RV show. Congratulations. I think you were the first buyer of the new Roadtrek. And looking forward to my first trip. I purchased your Gulf Coast, I think he's going to say my Gulf Coast guide that we put out. And that's great. Well, congratulations on that. I'm glad to see that they're starting to produce again. It's great. Uh, Lynn Baker has, how does the vibration, back to Beau's shotgun, get through all that fur? We had to get a collar with spikes. Um, well, they do have spikes on it.
Don't.
I'm not going to take it off.
Yeah.
But the vibration, just the unit itself kind of goes, hey, Beau, come here. Come here. I'll take it off and I'll show everybody.
Beau,
Hey,
come. Come
Beau,
here, sweetie.
squirrel. Come here. Look, come.
He said, I'm
Let me go get it.
resting.
Come here. Come here. We got to show everybody your collar. You don't want to wear this.
No,
Good
he doesn't
boy.
want to wear it.
Yeah, so let me just take this off. And yeah, see, this is the part
It's
right
like
here.
invisible fence.
That kind of goes like.
No, it
don't
goes
do-
on the side.
My wife would shock me. Just
No,
for
it wouldn't shock you.
and that kind of goes through the fur, but we keep it really loose. So give me the thing. Beau's still going to hear it.
Yeah, he's going to
Just
hear it and
this
get
part
nervous.
vibrates. So let me put it up here and see if you can hear it. Listen up. Can you hear that? So that just that thing is vibrating at that point, and that's all we have to do. He even heard that. Now his ears are down. It's okay, Beau. You're a good boy. Here, Beau. Tell everybody that you're okay and that we're not cruel parents. And you're a good boy, right? He says, "I'm not talking." See his tail's down. That's because he heard the thing vibrate. You're a good dog. Yes, you are.
Now he's
Good
panting.
boy. Now he's panting because he knows who you're talking to. Yeah. So I am very happy with that too, and you can talk to your dog trainer or your vet, and they can give you information on it and see what they want. But we like that Nimble app that we talked about, and between that's how we sort of take care of them. Gary Thatcher has a question. Going to be winterizing, going to be in the Grand Canyon area in 2 weeks. It may get in the mid-20s at night, back up in the mid-50s. We will be using propane. You don't have to winterize. If it's getting up to the 50s in the daytime, you're okay. You're going to be just fine. Don't worry about winterizing. If it stays below freezing during the daytime, then you'd have to do it. But I don't think you have any works at all. And then Phyllis points out, if I missed your question, just type it in caps, the question part, and I can do it. I'm interested in purchasing a Unity RL rear lounge Unity. Is it better to purchase at an RV show? No,
I don't know.
No, it's probably, it doesn't make any difference in whether it's at an RV show or at a dealer.
I don't think anybody has extra stock, do they?
No, I don't think they do either. So good luck on that. I don't think they do. Any thoughts about the new gas stop device? Nope, don't know what it is. Got a new super chat. I love it, from Steve Biddle, a $20 super chat. Steve, you're a big spender here. Thank you, man. Hello from the Poconos. My wife and I just spent our first month with our 2016 SS Agile. I'm also glad that Roadtrek is back in business.
Me too.
I like your icon there for your name there, Steve, with that trombone. Well, congratulations. I'm glad that you had a good time out there. Do you use any diesel additive? Are there different qualities of DEF? I've heard cheap DEF can cause damage. Nobody's ever told me to be careful. I just use, I pick up that blue something, DEF. I pick it up whenever I start to get low. I'll need some in another 500 miles or so probably, and I pick it up at truck stops, pour it in, and that's it. There may be different versions, but
Makes sense that there could be. We've never heard that before.
Yeah, I would not look for something that's just really cheap on anything. You get what you pay for.
I mean, this is too big of an investment.
I use no diesel additives, but usually I think it's blue. I can't remember the name of it. Blue something DEF fluid. Some truck stops actually disperse it right from the gas pump. Those are really meant for semis that have big capacity DEF containers, tanks on board. The smaller ones that are like 5 gallons, I think, that you have on most diesel RVs. I just get a couple of jugs of that and pour it in, and it's always in the same kind that I buy. I don't, it's Blue. Like I say, I remember it's Blue something. Here's a question from Shirley. Met you guys in Hershey. I saw a bag of Origins dog food when you left Michigan. We feed our cats the same. Ever have a problem feeding food for Beau? Finding food for Beau?
Yeah, sometimes we can't find the origins. We had that out west. And so then we go to the pet store and try to get the closest thing to. And he gets a frozen patty. That's the hardest thing.
Yeah, and we that's Stella and Chewy's.
Yeah, you
We
wanted
feed them.
just patties, and I said it'd
It's
be,
too expensive.
yeah, it's too expensive, and he needs to eat kibble.
Yeah,
You can't just have expensive stuff.
but we have not had any problem
And
finding
storage.
Origin, which is the kibble, and the Stella and Chewy's. We've traveled around the country. We can usually find that too. Sometimes you just look up on
And
the
you
Stella
make
and
sure
Chewy
you,
website, and you look where you are.
and if you're going someplace where you think they're not going to have it, you buy a bag extra,
yeah.
and you carry it with you in
Yeah.
the shower.
Susan, thank you. That was a great question. Let's see. Judy Payne, do you know what happened to the executives from North America Roadtrek? I think you mean the previous executives that lost their jobs. Don't know. Nobody seems to know. Lots of people ask all the time, and I don't know. I've not heard a thing. They're gone. It's like they never existed, except they did, but nobody knows what happened. Tracy's channel. Squirrels, yeah, are evil critters. They stay in front of RV door and wait for you to walk the dog. Then you get snatched out of the camper by Fido. Yeah, Bo loves to chase it. Don Mullins says, "Where are you headed next? Where are we going? To Emerald Coast, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Although we're thinking about a stop in mid-Florida tomorrow sometime. We're not sure. That's the problem. We never know. When people used to want to follow us and say, don't, because we don't know where we're going. And we can't worry about somebody wondering what happened to us because we'll pull off the road wherever we go. All right. Hey, we're going to wrap her up. And as Chris says, thank you, Chris. And thank you, Phyllis, for moderating tonight. Give the video a thumbs up before you go. It really helps when we see that. And we just love hearing from you guys. All right, I gotta take this one. You ever concerned about EMF electromagnetic frequencies, chemtrails, geoengineering sky? No.
Oh, you are too. The
EMF?
magnetic
No.
frequencies?
No.
Not really.
No.
Okay.
No. Maybe a little bit from my phone, but no. Come on. I'm not scared even a little bit. And I'm not going to go there. That's right up there with my animated movie question, chemtrails. That's pretty good. You guys are great. We've got an interesting podcast coming up on the best practices for boondocking. That'll be out on Wednesday. Of course, our newsletter comes out tomorrow. If you are not already a subscriber to the newsletter, we invite you to do so. We just go to that address, rvlifestyle.com/community, sign up, become a part of our newsletter group, and you'll get first notice of everything we report during the week. You'll get special deals and special offers on many of our partners, and a fresh newsletter delivered to your e-box every Monday morning, and we'll have a lot tomorrow, and we look forward to hearing you. So you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks to everybody that was with us. One more shout out to our meetup group today. Where did I have our meetup group? There we go.
Got the meetup group?
There it is. There's our meetup group. We had a great time. -3 that came in after we took that picture. Had a great time at the what's the name of it? The Bone Hook Brewing Company in Naples. And again, we'll have a meetup in a couple of weeks after we get done with this RV Entrepreneur Summit. We'll have one up in the Panhandle area of Florida. So it will be great. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being a part of Ask Us Anything tonight, and we'll look for you down the road.
Happy trails.